name is Lara Klossek. I'm German. I grew up at the border between Germany and France, actually on the German side of the border. And I have a very strong connection with the South Asian region, and that comes from my year of social service in Nepal. And after that, I decided that I want to study South Asian studies. And so then I studied that in Heidelberg, which has a very good center for South Asian studies. And I also studied my master's degree in South Asian studies. I learned South Asian languages. I studied on the history of South Asia. And when I finished all of that, I wanted to even more academically research this region, and so I joined a PhD program on international relations. And here I did my dissertation on the European and Indian approach to UN peace operations. And I recently defended this PhD, and so now I'm here in Brussels. So it was a bit like I finished school and I felt I wasn't ready to go to university yet, because I felt like I wanted to first explore a little bit and learn more about the world. And then I had this opportunity of a government finance program to travel abroad. And I was always very interested in the Asian region. And then it came a little bit to me because they kind of offered me this possibility to go to Nepal. And then after spending a year there and to getting to know the people, to work in this NGO with this really, really amazing children, it really motivated me afterwards to go back and then also to share with other people this love that I developed for South Asia. And I thought it is important to not understand it only from that experience of living there, but also to study it from an academic perspective. And there's actually not so much research done on South Asia, and I thought so this is a very very good way of increasing research on the area and to share with other people about this region. Yeah. I just defended my PhD dissertation, and it might. Maybe in the future it's going to be published as a book. For now I have a number of academic articles that are published, and they can be found when you Google my name, Lara Klossek. There's publications on peacekeeping training. I have looked into the possibilities of the European Union to cooperate with India on peacekeeping. I've looked at Indian women in the security sector, and so there's a number of publications that you could refer to. I mean, on the one hand, you still have the impacts of colonialism and this very randomly drawn borders by the British affecting this region negatively. And I think there's some realization and some reflection on the European side what that has done to the region. But I think there's a lot more reflection needed in order to see what this border drawing has actually meant for the region and still means for that region today. Maybe just to give you a practical example, I think what is very interesting is that there's still so many museums, for instance, in the UK that have items that were looted from India and from Pakistan, and they have them in the exhibitions without referring properly to the fact that they were actually stolen from these countries in the colonial time. And I think in that sense there's still a lot more that needs to be done to work on that history. Otherwise, I feel like for a long time Europe has a bit underestimated, I would say, the importance of Asia, but in the recent years the EU has very much started to reach out specifically to India, because it's one of the most populated countries, and some people say it's going to overtake China in terms of its population. So then, that means to you that you can't just overlook India as a country. And I think increasingly people are trying to understand this region better now and to work more with Asia.
What is the conception in the, how can I say, the Asian country public about their decision about the European public and European country?
So of course you have a very positive idea about Europe as this country where you have all these opportunities. So especially young people that want to have an opportunity, they're trying to get study visas to study in Europe. because they want to get their higher education here, maybe start off their career. So I think overall the picture of Europe in these Asian countries is very positive. When it comes to the political elite, I would say, when it comes to the European Union, I think there's not so much knowledge about the EU as a construct. So, India normally works together, for instance, with the United States, because there's this idea that the European Union isn't really much such a important security player. So then they prefer to work with the US or for instance, with the US or with Southeast Asian countries. So for them, I think the EU is a bit far away. But that also has to do because there wasn't so much interest from the European side also. But I think this has changed over the last few years. And now we have actually a lot of initiatives from the European side. And so I think over the next years, actually, this is going to increase further between India and the European Union. I think I would find it very interesting to actually contribute a little bit to what I was just talking about, to increase the interaction between Europe and South Asia, because I think there's some similarities in terms, for instance, in the EU you have such a multitude of different languages, of different cultures, and they work together in this integrated peace project that is the European Union. And the same you have in South Asia. You have all these different cultures and all these different languages, and they still work in this in this multicultural state together with each other. And so I think there's a lot of similarities. There's a lot of similarities in terms of the values also. And so I think in terms of my future, I would like to work on that and to also increase the understanding about South Asia and Europe and vice versa, and then to contribute for these two regions to interact a bit more with each other in the future.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.